Welcome to Parenting in a Tech World, a podcast that aims to help you make sense of raising kids in the digital age. From Snapchat and texting to screen time struggles and TikTok trends, we break down everything parents need to know to understand Gen Alpha. Episode number 1 of the podcast I wish I had 10 years ago.
Well, it's here now, and that's the most exciting part. So I'm really excited that we're taking Parenting in a Tech World not out of Facebook entirely, but bringing it to a different platform for parents to have a different way to digest all of the things that are happening for parents today when it comes to raising kids right
Absolutely. I think you and I are both, I would say, lovingly podcast nerds.
Mm-hmm.
And our quest to gain knowledge and learn more about ourselves and the world around us, it's kind of silly that there isn't something like this for the thing that kids are doing the most right now.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of great podcasts out there, but I'm excited to bring our specific wealth of knowledge of being in this space for almost a decade. We have a unique position on what is really happening with children, a large group of children, over 7 million children just across the United States.
Yeah. How
they are impacted. We hear from over 500,000 parents daily in the group by the same name, Parenting in a Tech World. Our beloved colleague, who is no longer on planet Earth, but in heaven, Matt McKee, he and I co-wrote a book, Parenting in a Tech World too. So it's a theme, and we need to explore more of it in a medium where busy parents can actually consume it.
Yes.
Not everybody has time to read a book. Not everybody has time to scroll through Facebook, nor is it healthy for them.
Right.
I can only dip in and dip out for so long.
Yep.
So anyway, welcome to the Parenting in a Tech World podcast.
Yes.
And Sam, I'm stoked to be embarking on this with you.
Yes, I am really, really excited. I think from like day one when I came to Bark, I was like, we need a podcast. So I'm happy that it's finally happening. You kind of got into this already, but what can parents expect to learn when they're listening to these episodes?
Yes. Okay. I'm so glad you brought that up. Because as a podcast listener, like I want to get to the meat of it right away. Sometimes the fluff is fun, like when you're listening to Smartless, Jason Bateman, etc. Like their fluffy dialogue is fun. Not a professional comedian right here, so I promise to get to the point ASAP. Get you some actionable takeaways ASAP. If you need that relational aspect of how did I deal with this or how did other parents deal with this, we'll dig into that too. But essentially, we want to be respectful of your time. You came here to learn something, and we will give you that. You came here for support. We will give you that. You want resources, you want data, we'll give you that. So yeah, there is no manual for how to parent in a world like today, because no other parent on the history of parents living on planet Earth have had to parent like this.
Yeah.
So we're culling the best information that we have at this time and giving that back to you so you can make the best choices for your very unique children.
I love it. I think that there's going to be so much good that parents can walk away with listening or watching these. Just the conversations that I see happening in the Facebook group itself. So many parents are like, thank you. So they'll go back to edit their post and say, thank you so much for all the feedback. Like that was so helpful.
Yes.
So I hope that we can just put a little spin on that and do that here.
100%. 100%.
What's one thing that you're most excited about with the podcast happening and being a thing now?
It's hard to pick just one. I'm just an excited person by nature. But the fact that we are meeting parents where they are. Back in the day, if you wanted to reach parents, there are a variety of places you could go. But parents are listening to podcasts, and there aren't enough solid podcasts out there to serve their immediate needs.
And I'm sure that over the years, you've given plenty of pieces of advice or, maybe lessons learned that you've experienced. But when parents are navigating this digital landscape with their kids, like you said, parents have not had to do this before.
Yeah.
And before now, what's the best or biggest piece of advice you'd give them to kind of like, you got this?
Well, I cannot take any credit for this because it comes from our dear friend and colleague, Chris McKenna of Protect Young Eyes. 3 words: delay is the way.
I love that.
I absolutely love that. And the background for that is we now have a Facebook group of close to 600,000 parents in it. Not once have we ever heard somebody say, you know, I waited too long. I waited too long to let my child have an Xbox or a PlayStation or Fortnite or Minecraft or Roblox or a smartphone or that app or whatever. I waited too long. Nobody has ever said that yet.
No.
I'm waiting. They're welcome to.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, every single day, all day long, we hear story after story after story of a parent who has regret.
Yep.
Because they gave their child access too soon. And then we work to help them dial back some of the harms that their children have encountered because of that. So delay is the way. Thank you, Chris McKenna.
It's so simple and so powerful.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
For anyone who has started listening to this podcast, they took the time, they were like, sounds interesting. I'd love to learn more. Why should they stay and continue listening? Who are we? What gives us the credibility to speak on these things? Shed a little light on that, I guess.
I've been working at Bark for over 8 years now. I've been in the space that lives at the intersection of parenting and technology for basically my entire career.
Yep.
At Bark, we help to protect over 7 million children across the nation. And as a result of that, just over 2023, analyzed over 5.6 billion data points across children's text, email, social media, YouTube, you name it. Because of that data set, we have unique insights into the rate at which children as young as 5, 6, 7 are encountering problematic content and problematic people online. There is no other data set like that out there that can give us a true depiction of the problem. Now, on top of the problem, we also have amazing resources, best next steps, and families who have been brave enough to share their stories with us for how they navigated these things, whether it's a 6-year-old using bad words in a group text, all the way up to the most severe things like suicide and disordered eating and predation and sextortion. So, if you care about helping to raise a child in a healthy way in this new landscape where they have unprecedented access, I would say there is no better podcast to listen to than, spend some time with Sam and I from Bark.
Yeah. We're here to help and happy to. What's one thing, and maybe there's probably more than one thing again, that you hope parents can gain from listening to our podcast?
Confidence. That's something I wish I had 10, 15 years ago. My son is almost 16, y'all. Dude, oof, not going to cry. Not going to cry right now. But confidence that I am the parent. I know what is best for him. And confidence to do what I feel and know is best for him despite what everyone else is doing. It's very easy to get sucked into all my kids' friends are allowed to have Snapchat. Should I let them have it too? If you feel that tug of this doesn't seem right, you listen to that. So this podcast, among many other things, will help you understand when it's okay to be the only one and how sometimes being the only one will make sure your child is the only one who ends up healthy and happy.
Yes.
We hope to reverse that, but.
Yes,
yeah.
I love that. And I think, one thing that we've talked about before is kids being left out, if you will, is sometimes the best thing for them because there are so many things online that you just aren't aware of until you experience it or you read the stories, whatever it might be. So I'm happy that, I love the idea of giving parents their confidence to know that they can do this and we're here to help them.
Absolutely. And grace too.
Yes.
We are humans. We're not perfect. It is not possible to be a perfect parent. It is not possible to have your child go through childhood completely unscathed.
Right.
You're going to make mistakes, and that helps them build resilience and learn. We can talk. I'm happy to share all of my mistakes, right? Like letting my child have an unsafe smartphone too soon, letting him have, TikTok and Snapchat and other apps way before he should have. So anyway, we can talk about all of that, but there is grace in the mistakes and the relationship that you can build with your child by coming to them and letting them know, like, hey, I said you could have this, and now I realize it's not good for you and I need to take it away. And I know that's going to suck.
Yeah.
But we have to do this because it's the best for you. Anyway, we have so much to talk about, and I am so thankful for everybody who listens, whether it's for 30 seconds or 30 minutes. If you take a moment to leave a review, leave a comment, email us feedback, it really goes a long way. I don't think we have goals of being, the next Joe Rogan podcast.
Probably not.
But like it could. There are enough parents out there.
Yeah. There are plenty of parents that need the help, I'm sure, and want the help.
Right. And Joe, if you're listening, like, holler at your girl.
Yeah.
I'd love to be a guest.
Yes, we'd love that.
Yeah.
All right. So since this is the, introductory episode, I thought it would be fun to pull a couple of maybe lighthearted or funny posts that we see in PITW where parents are sharing some bark alerts that have happened that got a good laugh. This one is one of my favorites. This mother post thought y'all might get a kick out of this bark alert I got, and it's drug and alcohol content related content as the alert, and it was a text that their child must have sent that said, "I'm going to do drugs. Psych. I just want to see if this gets sent to my mom. If so, hi mom."
Okay. First of all, it does make us giggle when we see bark alerts that, make parents giggle.
Yep.
Right? But on the flip side, just like PSA, please, please, please do not try to trigger bark alerts because when there is a very serious issue, it does get escalated to a team that cares, right? And it's kind of like dialing 911 as a prank.
Right.
Then you might prevent 911 from being able to help somebody in real danger. So please don't test the bark algorithm with anything that's like seriously medically concerning.
Yes.
Like, just please, thank you. But yeah, there are plenty of funny things. Yeah, I got a bark alert once for bullying between my son's dad and my son, and it was gold. It was golden. It's very, very good. Stay gold.
I love it. Another one that is a conversation, I guess, between a mother and a son, and the mom said, "Come shred this cheese for me, please. My back is killing me, for real, for real." And it's funny because she was just trying to speak the kids' language. But I think especially when they probably didn't expect that was going to happen. They just were trying to make jokes with their kid and speak that Gen Z and Gen Alpha slang. But I can imagine she was like, "Oh, I'm the reason there's an alert today."
But, she didn't say for real. She said FR, which is another cool thing about our algorithm is that it understands when those four letters are together, what it means. And anyway, whole episode on that. Perhaps we get Brandon or Brock or, some people from our data science team to talk through the nuances of how we're just not alerting people to obvious keywords, but to conversational nuances.
Yep.
So anyway, don't be afraid to come to the group, share your stuff. There might be some people that are like, "Oh, hell no." But we try to mitigate that, right? We keep it a very safe place.
Yes. Shout out to the community team.
Oh, man.
Because they are incredible.
Thank you, community team, for allowing just enough candid conversation to where it's not completely filtered.
Yep.
But absolutely kicking out anybody who's just rude.
Yep.
If you're rude and you're unkind, you're going into timeout and potentially bye-bye forever from the group.
Yes.
Yeah. If you love us, support us, want to do us a solid, I don't know what people do. Like, subscribe, leave a review.
Yep.
Give us like 5 stars or however many stars you can.
Yeah.
But like not 1. If you want to give us a 1 star, just don't. Just leave. It's like the
Just email us and let us know.
Yeah, email us and let us know how to be better.
Yes, we'll take it.
Yeah. So thanks.
Yeah.
All right, that's our episode for today. Until next time, may your family's screen time be down, your Wi-Fi strong, and your Venmo requests minimal.